Hey guys, this is Cam315 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another um, anime episode review for you guys for one of the more newer spring animes of 2022 because a majority of them are going to start releasing this week. And I did say if you watched my video about spring animes that I'd probably be watching slash reviewing on the channel. It was one of these animes or something like that. And the anime that we're talking about today is I'm Quitting Heroine. Now essentially, like I said in that what I'm watching video, essentially the premise is this hero essentially is tired of being a hero and he wants to work for the demon queen's race or army and stuff like that. Now, the basic summary didn't get the background information like we got in this episode for episode 1 of like why he ultimately left doing hero stuff to go work for this demon race or the demon queen's army, but it kind of actually is a good reason as to why and everything. But yes, there's 12 episodes in the season for I'm Quitting Heroine. If you're wondering where you can find I'm Quitting Heroine, it's not on a Crunchyroll. You have to go find it or go watch it on HI Dive if you want to watch it legally, I guess. If you don't care about that stuff and you don't want to pay an HI Dive subscription, well then go right ahead. You can do what you want to go do. I don't advocate that you go to pirate websites and watch that unless you have no other option to. I personally of the person of support the official release and stuff like that. But anyways, the first episode starts off with the hero, who our main character is called Leo Demonheart, but I'm gonna call him Leo, and he's coming up before Echidna. Yes, Echidna. No, not the same very attractive witch we saw in ReZero. A new Echidna, who's still very attractive, and she's got pink hair. And she's the demon queen, and she's in charge of her army, and everything. Standing beside her are her 4 great generals, which is Lily, Myrnis, Edvard, and Shuntina. And all Leo's like, I would like to be, in your army. So can I be entered into your army? Can I apply for your army like it's a job and everything? Which we find out is like a job it was like a job posting to join the Demon Queen's army, Echidna's army. And obviously Echidna, because throughout this whole speech, he's like, listen, I know I defeated you, Echidna, but I want to join your ranks and make your army great. And obviously she's pissed off because he beat her. And she's just firing off these like flamethrower attacks at him, and she's like, no, stop talking, get out of here, I'm never gonna put you in my damn army and stuff like that. So yeah, it then cuts to a scene to where Leo ends up meeting with the 4 great generals, and we find out some background information is after he was kind of turned away by Echidna, the 4 great generals ended up meeting him or running into him after that whole debacle, and he's like, please just hear me out here, I got a great presentation I gotta show you and stuff like that. So essentially we find out that Leo, he fought all of Echidna's army, including the 4 great generals. So he goes into detail of how he defeated all of them. Now we find out that Edvard is like a demon or a dragon race member, and he just fought him with just brute force and beat him with brute force because his body is so hard because of the dragon scales. That was the whole thing there. Myrnis, who is like a half demon, was moving at very high fast speeds, and it was the only general that almost took Leo down, but Leo found a way to counter it by using magic and just blowing up the entire place, and Myrnis was taken down. Lily, who we see from the moment he walks into the area where Echino's at, she has like this, her tail's all wagging and stuff like that, and she like very happy to see him and everything. Well, she is a part of the Beast General race and stuff like that. So she's a demi-human essentially. And you know, we find out how he defeated her. Well, she ended up trying to go berserk on him, but he easily beat her. It wasn't even no contest for him. And in Lily's race, her whole thing is, if somebody is significantly stronger than you and they beat you, especially if you're the opposite sex, that essentially means you're destined to be with them. So Lily is kind of, you can say, our main character's whole simp person, where they just want them so bad, because she's like, because the thing is, she wants to marry Leo, but Leo's like, not now, maybe when you get a little bit older and stuff like that. And she's like, no, I want to marry you now. I feel like we're gonna get a lot of very comedic moments out of the bunch. Personally, I think so far, I do like how Echidna looks. She's hot. But Shuntina, I feel like she's gonna be one of those anime girls a lot of people are gonna be simping for, because she like an elf with magic mage abilities and stuff like that. And we find out how she ended up losing. She's very powerful at using magical spells and everything, and all our boy did was just like, yeah, I'm gonna shut that stuff down. And essentially counter out her, used a spell, or used a counter spell to make it to where she can't use any magic. And essentially it's just like brute strength, hand to hand, but she can't fight hand to hand because she wasn't taught that stuff. And obviously she dude beat her pretty easily. And obviously, you know, it led to a whole funny scene where, you know, she's just like, okay, yeah, you told us how you all defeated us. Big deal. That's your presentation. That's pretty pathetic. And then you have Miranus and some of the other, and the other three are like, Miranus starts it off. He's like, to be honest, I was actually pretty interested in that because I wanted to see how you guys actually ended up being defeated by this guy. And then the other three say the same thing. And obviously they're like, man, Shuntina, you got taken out the most like weak. You're the weakest out of the bunch of us. All we got to do is take away your magic abilities and we win easy. You went out freaking embarrassing. And obviously she gets flustered and everything because, you know, she ended up being the one that she lost pretty easily to our hero. And she's like, all right, fine. Okay. We heard you out. But why? That's when she asked, like, okay, why did you even want to be in our army? Like, why would the hero want to be in the Demon Queen's army? That's a good question. I'm like, yes, why? So after Leo defeated Echidna, who we see that she can transform into a dragon. Now, when she did stand in the scene of the first part of the episode, she did have a tail. So I wonder if she's like some sort of half dragon, half human type of thing. Okay. And stuff like that. But after he gets back, the townsfolk in the town he was going back to, they were like, what the hell? What is he doing back here? He got this crazy power that could destroy us all. Essentially, you can say they were afraid of his power he had, even though he literally saved their lives, but okay. And essentially, because of it, he got a bounty on his head like he's some pirate from One Piece or something. The assassins were sent after him. He easily defeated the assassins. He ended up going to the king's palace to tell him about all this situation. And the king's like, yeah, you see, I could do something about it, but because I don't want my reputation taking a hit, and I gotta focus on the concerns of the people of my kingdom, I hate to do this to you because you were a great hero for us, but yeah, you've been banished from the kingdom. And I'm watching this and I'm like, you have the power to where you can freaking tell these people, he literally stopped the Demon Queen's army. Please stop terrorizing this guy. But I guess the guy did the best thing he could, because he knew regardless if he said, you know, you have to trust the Leo, most of the people wouldn't hear him out. I still think it's a total, you know, D-bag move of the king. Like, didn't even have his back. Like, he said, I have your best interests, but then it's like, you banish him from the village. Okay, yeah, sure. All right. So obviously he leaves. Leo kind of lives out all on his own. He's just going from place to place to place. And then overhears he's in this one town and overhears that the Demon Queen's army is looking to hire people to come into the ranks. So he just comes up with an idea to present himself and everything, and then he's there from point on. So he actually has a pretty legit reason to why he wants to join the Demon Queen's army, Echidna's army, because essentially the human race turned their back on him. He helped them, he saved them and everything, and they turned his back on him. We also do find out too, way when he first started out, he did have a little party, but essentially they were all completely worthless. Like, he said one of the guys was like a bow hero for him, and he couldn't fight in close combat whenever enemies freaking ganged up on him. I'm like, bruh, like freaking Oliver Queen or Hawkeye, Clint Barton, they be having up these close-up fights and they can still fight. What the hell? So essentially they were worthless to him. He ended up dipping on them and stuff like that, but he has legit reason to why he wants to do this and stuff like that. So they're like, okay, you have a legit reason, fine, we'll let you in, but only for a 1-month trial period. If you can freaking surprise us, then we'll all 4 go to Echidna and recommend that you be in our army, because she don't trust you. Tina also says, yeah, also too, make sure you don't show your face around Echidna, because you know how she feels about this whole situation. If anything, we're a disguise, and stuff like that. So yeah, they essentially run down through the entire issues that the Echidna's army's going through and stuff like that, and it's just like bare bones situation. Like, they got to rebuild the castle, they got to do all these other like things to help out, like retrain their troops and stuff like that. Just your simple things, like if you watch like those animes like the Genius Prince, or how a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom anime, it's kind of like that. This one guy essentially building up the army through and helping them through the ranks and stuff like that, which I envision is only going to impress Echidna with who this mysterious person is that she doesn't know, and stuff like that. Like, heck, they gave freaking Lily the logistics, and Lily couldn't do that, and logistics are essentially the basics, the bare basics of how to run your freaking army. And when this guy found out like the logistics are essentially in the tank, he's like, wait, what the hell is going on here? No wonder why you guys are terrible now after I kicked your guys' asses. You guys ain't done nothing. And he's just like, I gotta do all this for you guys. He's practically their savior, to be honest. I don't know why they just wouldn't just let him in. But then again, I don't blame him. He could be like some sort of inside spy, and stuff like that. So yeah, it's hilarious. But as the episode's ending off, another reason we find out why Leo joined the Echidna's army is we find out that apparently Echidna isn't like any other demon king or demon queen, leader we've seen in other different animes. Because if you watch in other different animes, when you hear of the demon king or a demon queen, they're brutal people that end up killing millions of people, and it's always in these fantasy or isekai like settings where main character has to get to it and defeat said character, demon king or demon queen. No, we find out Echidna is very much different compared to other ones in other animes and stuff like that. We find out, yeah, she does the whole takeover villages and stuff like that. We see a flashback where she does that stuff. She's like, she comes before her army who's raiding this village, this village, and she's like, I told you guys to invade this village and take it under our control, but I didn't tell you guys can't kill people. Do not kill any humans. I just want you to essentially have complete control, like as if it's an army coming into an opposing. I know right now with what's going on in the world, it's probably not the best example to say, but it's like a freaking country invading another country and just taking over the entire country. Only difference is they don't kill nobody, they just take it over and it's under their jurisdiction. Man, do I wish it was something like that going on in the real world instead of just senseless slaughter. I'm not going to go into further detail. You know what I'm talking about. If you actually watch the news and stuff like that, you know what I'm talking about. But that's a very interesting point. And I wonder why. And Leo wants to wonder why. He wants to ask this to Echidna. He's like, why do you just invade people's villages, but you don't end up killing them? You're literally the Demon Queen. You could do that. So it's very interesting why she doesn't do that. Maybe she might be a half demon too. Half demon, half human. You know? Or maybe she feels some sort of sympathetic reasons. So it's all going to build up to him getting into there and then getting that question asked before her. Why does she do what she's doing? Is she just doing this because she's doing this out of the kindness of her heart? Or is she doing this for some other ulterior motive? Seemingly, we think right now she's just doing this probably out of the goodness of her heart. But there's definitely a reasoning to why. So it definitely keeps the intrigue of wanting to come back in every week and see, you know, why is she doing what she's doing? So I actually enjoyed this. I think this is actually going to be a pretty underrated show. The comedy was a lot, you know, was there. It was pretty funny and stuff like that. And I think I'm actually going to enjoy this and stuff like that. So yeah, but other than that, that's all I'm going to say for this week's episode. I'll be back next Tuesday to talk about episode 2. But other than that, if you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on the first episode of I'm Quitting Heroine. As well as hit the subscribe button to get more Cam Free 15 content on the channel, whether it's any other spring anime of 2022 or any other anime upload to the channel and stuff like that. Definitely can't wait for tomorrow, because tomorrow is the first episode of Rising of the Shield Hero 2 since season 1. I cannot wait. But anyways, when you do hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that notification bell icon so you get up to date and get all the alerts that I send out when I upload. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna get it for. Hope you guys are having a great rest of your day or night watching this video. Until then, guys, catch you guys later. Stay safe out there. Peace.